What is hatching, Tugga peeps? OldManTup coming at you today with our Week 5 team builder of the GBA Season 9. And we are building against the one and only Kyle ABC DEFG and his Miami Donphans with an S. Because I know I'm going to forget the S a lot. So we're just throwing that out there right now. Now, before we look at Kyle's team, I want you guys to know that I spent a lot of time prepping for this match, watching the one and only PUCL Podcast, PUCL, Pokemon Underground Champions League. So, if you're looking for a fantastic podcast to watch on a weekly basis, comes out on Monday mornings, which is great for me because 2 of the cleaning clients I have are empty offices, and I can listen to it about 50 times a day. And it's just awesome. Actually, that's not possible because it's almost always at least an hour long. But crew over there, headed up by Mr. Thatch himself, with a gaggle of co-hosts. Just awesome. Check that out. Link will be in the description down below. Their symbol is a great ball with the PUCL logo, the PUCL Podcast. Don't miss it. I look forward to it every single Monday. And they also have a YouTube channel. Go check that out. Yours truly appears on it from time to time. Well, not appears, but I get to do commentary on some of their draft league that they have. Every now and again, they contact me, and we get to do a little bit of commentary. And it's always nice to see some fresh new faces and see the new strats coming out in other leagues. So go check that out as well. The PUCL Podcast. Again, just search PUCL and look for the Great Ball. You will find it. Alright guys, now that we're 2 minutes in pimping out the PUCL Podcast, let's take a look at Kyle A's team. And he has some of my favorite stuff, and you'll notice when I start reading it off. He has Protean Greninja, so our Greninja counterpart, the only 2 Greninjas, if I'm not mistaken, drafted this time around because they were all available. It is Protean Greninja, so we will see who is the better wielder of the Greninja this week. So it is a Greninja showdown. He also has my probably all-time favorite draft league mon, Zygarde 50%, the good snake. He has Speed Boost Blaziken, not Mega Blaziken, Speed Boost regular form Blaziken. He also has probably my second favorite ever draft league Pokemon, Excadrill, my homie. Then he has Rabombi, Thundurus Therian, a fantastic Pokemon, Klefki, another fantastic Pokemon, Mega Blastoise, Celebi, who we've had in the past, Alolan Persian, and Swellow, who, if I'm not mistaken, was very popularized by Cooper in its use. So he has a lot of really good things. He has some good speed tiers. The fastest thing on his team being that Swellow at 125 speed. Coming in a close second is Rabombi at 124 speed. After that, just regular Greninja at 122. Then the Alolan Persian at 115, and then it just pretty much drops off pretty drastically after that. Thundurus T being at 101, everything else is 100 or below. His 2 Z-move users are Thundurus Therian and Alolan Persian, so gotta watch out for that Z parting shot on that Alolan Persian. So let's take a look at what we built against this team. He has a lot of really threatening things that can do a lot of damage to our team. Really, holy cow. And I forgot to mute Discord again. Why do I always do that? So here we go. I'm gonna mute Discord real quick. Nice and professionalness going on here. Alright, let's pull that back up. There we go, bueno. Alright, so first thing we have Battle Bond Greninja, the good boy. The best Greninja by far, and we're going to prove it this coming week. We're rocking the choice specs this week, and you're just thinking, Tup, why do you need choice specs? Because base form Greninja, in order to stop his speed boosting Blaziken from running amok and just cranking our team hard, we need to be able to hit it with a super mega water shuriken with as much power as possible, which is why you're going to see we're rocking that max speed. So at the very worst, we speed tie his Greninja in our base form. If it comes to that, we do have the U-turn, Ice Beam, Water Shuriken, and Dark Pulse that does a ton of damage across his team. U-turn gives us that ability to keep the switch initiative, which is something I really think we're going to need in this match, because he gets set up with one or two of these mons and it's just bad news bears, and we go into that sweet night and it's all over at that point. So we definitely don't want that to happen. So again, we're running Timid, Max Speed, Max Special Attack, because we want those Water Shurikens to be doing as much damage as possible. And across this team, Water Shuriken does a lot of work. Protean Greninja is probably not going to stay water very long as far as that goes. Other things that resist it, going to be that Blastoise, Celebi. But I mean, outside of that, it does neutral to super effective damage, which is really good. But the Ice Beam Dark Pulse combo really puts in work against this team. Next, we're going to be rocking that physically defensive Mega Scizor. This one, what you're thinking, tough. This is not going to stop Mega Blaziken. Hey, guess what? Nothing on our team switches in to a Mega Blaziken if it sword stances on us. So we're not even trying to do that at this point. That's not what we're worried about. That's not how we're going to handle the Mega Blaziken. The Speed Boost Blaziken. Jeez. But we have Mega Scizor. This thing is ultimately just to come in and shut down physical Zygarde. So that's what we got rocking here. Technician, Bullet Punch, U-turn, Super Power, and Roost. Super Power to catch things on the switch that might be trying to come in on us. Maybe a defensive Mega Blastoise and or possibly defensive Zygarde. I highly doubt he's going to be switching Celebi into probable U-turns. I don't think he's going to be rocking defensive Klefki this week. I think he's probably going to be rocking more specially defensive Klefki if he brings it, which I do fully expect him to do. Again, not 100% sure about Mega Blastoise coming, because we do have good answers to that as well. But that is why we are bringing the Impish Max Defense Mega Scizor. Next, we are going to be bringing, for the first time, our good boy Sentry here, with the leftovers, Levitate, the only ability that Claydol can have. Fun fact, it has no options outside of that. No hidden abilities, nothing. Learn that on the PUCL Podcast, actually. So, good thing to know there. Bringing this boy for Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Earth Power, and Ice Beam. Again, Earth Power and Ice Beam does a really solid amount of damage across his team. It neutral to super effective hits, I think, on everything. So that is muy bueno. But this is our special defense boy. This is what we want switching into. Well, we have three things to be able to switch into Thunderous T Thunderbolts, because the Double Dance Thunderous Therian really has me worried this week. It has the ability to use that Z move, but I mean Thunderbolt and Dark Pulse just does a number across the entirety of our team, especially after a nasty plot setup. So that is something we have to keep our eye out for. But the main reason we are rocking this set is because we take a Thunderous Therian, Z, oh crap, what's the Z Dark move called? Black Hole Sun or something like that. We take a Z Dark Pulse from Max Special Attack Timid Thunderous Therian, which I'm pretty sure he's going to bring this week because of speed tiers. But we can take one, and if nothing else, get up rocks, Rapid Spin, or just hit it with a big old fat Ice Beam. But that is the goal for this. That is why we have to run as much special defense as possible. This also gives us a little bit better answer to a few of the other things on his team, but this is mainly to be able to come in on any special attacker on his team and set up Rocks, at least. Because Rock's going to be huge this match for whittling things down, because I really think he's going to be doing a lot of switching. Based off his team, Rocks do a ton of damage, and his team really is reliant on switching. So that's going to be really good for us. So that is why we're bringing Sentry this week. Next, we're going to be bringing Toshington back with the Firium Z, our Zeraora, with Volt Absorb. As long as we have this and, our Clay Doll, we aren't going to be seeing Thunderbolts get thrown around too terribly commonly. But again, unfortunately, that Dark Pulse just does so much against us. But hopefully we won't get back to no corner of that. We have a lot of speed to be able to counter that Thunderous Theory, and as long as he doesn't get an agility set up or be scarfed. But I really don't think he can afford to run Scarf against us this week, and I don't think he needs 4 offensive moves, which I really has me worried that the Double Dance set is coming, because I can see that coming and just punching us in the face, especially late game if he preserves it. But we'll be rocking this week Plasma Fist, Knockoff, Fire Punch, and Outrage. And I really bounce back and forth between bringing Firium Z and the Dragonium Z. Dragonium Z because Zeraora doesn't get the Ice Punch option for Zygarde, but this also isn't our hard check to Zygarde. As far as Zygarde switching into a probable Plasma Fist, if he really thinks that's the option, I would say he'd bring Thunderous Theory every time, because Thunderous Theory gets that Volt Absorb just like we do. So that's what I expect to go that way. But he also has the Excadrill and Greninja that he could bring to just make this much less effective. So Excadrill and Zygarde, very big options this week for him. Unfortunately for Excadrill, it doesn't want to take close combat to the face, or really a Inferno Overdrive Fire Punch. But this Inferno Overdrive Fire Punch, the reason we have it is because Klefki is such a thorn in our side this week. Not a Spikes reference there at all. But the Fire Punch Firium Z to a max HP, max special defense, because I really think he's going to be bringing a special set this week to counter things like Latias and, Sean Connery, or Greninja, because to this point, we've only brought special attacking Greninja. Fun fact. But, plus defensively, he doesn't really stand up to a lot of our physical attacking Pokemon. But I really expect it to be that set. And Inferno Overdrive has about, I think it has like a 25% chance to one-shot after Rocks damage. Don't quote me on that, but I know after Rocks it puts us, I think, within a small roll. And that's why we have it. So all we need to do is get a little bit of chip damage on that Klefki, and we can pretty much nearly one-shot it with the Firium Z, which is really, really good for us. So, we got Plasma Fist, Knockoff, Fire Punch, Outrage. That's what we had there. Knockoff just to be a utility move against a lot of the things on his team. Getting rid of anything that wants to switch in, possibly with bringing a Scarf against us, or leftovers on one of his more bulky mons. So that's bueno. Next, bringing in Chunk, Diggersby. We didn't bring him last week, and we just got our Boxers Roxard clean off and had our ship sunk. So we're bringing Chunk back this week. Choice Scarf, Huge Power, Earthquake, Frustration, U-Turn, and Ice Punch. This does huge damage across his entire team. And I have Serious Nature on this. I really hope that didn't make it to my buddy Pablo, who was legitly breeding our team this week with a Serious Nature on it. That'd make me sad face. But anyways, we are looking, I forget what speed tier this puts us at. Oh, we're going to drop that into Jolly real quick to see what we get. 143 speed. With the Scarf, I want to say we can pretty much outspeed just about anything. Pretty close, especially with the scarf. But this is mainly to come in and just hit things that are already damaged. Again, much like the last match that it put work in, it two-shots nearly everything on his team after rocks damage. And that is just huge. The only things on his team that resist a frustration are Klefki and Excadrill. So, even bulky boy Zygarde takes huge punch in the face from a frustration. Now granted, Ice Punch is clearly the best option to go with there, just because that quad weakness exists, and Ice Punch just does so much damage. But that's what we got Chunk this week. Again, U-turn, because we want that switch initiative when we can get it, especially when he's going to be forced to make switches. So that's what we got Chunk coming this week. Next we have Goodbye, the Latias, another Pokemon bringing for the first time. So we're bringing both our Psychic Pokemon for the first time this week. Both being weak to that Ice though, which is no bueno, and the Dark Pulse. But I really think it complements the team versus what our opponent has. This gives us a little, I mean, granted this isn't a defensive variant, but it gives us a little bit better option to switch into possible high jump kicks and or whatever fire type move, Flare Blitz, the Blaziken might be rocking. So that's what we got here. We got Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Fire. Hidden Power Fire for the anticipated max special defense Klefki, just to get as much damage on that thing as possible, because that's really what we need. We whittle down the Klefki, and if he brings Klefki and it's, again, he doesn't bring Excadrill, pretty much once Klefki goes down, it really opens up the ability of this team to just dismantle the rest of what he has, as long as he doesn't set up on us. Another thing, he has a lot of really good substitute mons, like Celebi. He has Zygarde. A lot of the times when I ran Zygarde, I would sub DD and then just run shop on somebody's face. And the team we have right here is not really wanting to have a Zygarde just 1,000 arrows everything. That'd be a real bad day. Again, as long as he doesn't set up too much, El Scizor comes in and does pretty good against it. He could be rocking a coil set this week, but I don't know. I would think our special attackers handle it fairly readily if he decides to run a coil set over a Dragon Dance set. I just think he needs that speed, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens when the match comes. Anyways, guys, I've been OldManTup. Let me know what you think about our prep versus the Miami Donphans. And I will see you guys Sunday for that big matchup. Can the Piratas right the ship and wave that Jolly Roger once more? I've been OldManTup, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.